What's up, everybody? It is a dark night. I spent a lot of time cleaning out my shop here recently. You can actually see the floor again and walk around the four-wheelers and whatnot. I think that I finally have the motivation to address a project which has been sitting in my shop for 2 years now. For those of you that don't know, I had bought a brand new 2021 Honda Foreman, and I had paid one company to build me a supercharger kit for it. So I want something that was different, something unique, and I've just always had a love for Hondas. It's what got me into this, and it's what started me in really loving off-roading. So I bought this brand new four-wheeler right here. Spent another $3,000 or $4,000 on the supercharger kit for it. You know, gauges, got everything properly snorkeled, fuel injector, and I bought a really nice RJWC exhaust for it. I've got a scratch kit for it. I've got a radiator relocate for it. I drove all the way down to Florida to get it tuned, and I got it back home, and the supercharger grenaded within a minute or two of riding. Honestly, I think it blew up while we were still in Florida on the dyno. Well, I was like, okay, I'll give these guys a chance, make things right, and, you know, send me a new supercharger or build me a different kit. And I paid them even more money, and after months and months and months of getting nothing back from the guys, I ended up with a box of bogus. You know, I got some pieces that aren't usable, some stuff not welded together, a water to air intercooler, and a cheap supercharger. So then I had a second guy hit me up, this guy named Scott Herring, who claimed to be the original Honda supercharger guy, and he had a shop, and a legitimate shop, and a lot of people vouched for him. So I paid that guy another $3,000 to build me a supercharger kit for that Honda, because I really wanted to be, you know, the first YouTuber out there with a supercharged Honda, and got nothing. He told me he's going through a whole bunch of bad life stuff, you know, dying family members, having to move places, blah, 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 blah. I have been super patient with him, and it's been probably 2 years, maybe a year and a half or 2 years since I've paid him the $3,000 to build me a kit, and now he's just completely ghosted me. He won't respond to any of my calls, won't respond to any of my messages. So I am $7,000 deep in attempting to supercharge a Honda, and I got nothing to show for it. And that's just the money that I spent on the supercharger kits themselves. That doesn't include the exhaust or whole week I spent driving down to Florida and then dyno tune, and I have way too much money into this Honda, and it made me sick that I got hosed that bad. I mean, this is the only time I've ever been screwed that bad on a deal in my life. So yeah, it's just been sitting for, you know, 2 years, and I finally have my shop cleaned up, and I think I finally have motivation to go ahead and put on the parts that I have and then do something else fun with it. I think I'm gonna put nitrous on this thing. I'm gonna put a nitrous kit on it, and we are going to see how much nitrous a Honda motor can take. It might be a 20 shot, it might be a 30 shot, but I wanted a unique Honda. Apparently supercharging is too much to ask for it. I thought about going turbo. Oh, maybe I'll do turbo. Maybe someone can talk me into turbocharging it in the comments. I do have the intercooler system and all the rest of that. I'm definitely not going supercharged again because that didn't work out. But I think I'm gonna pull out the old X3, shove the Honda over here, bring all my parts over here, get to working on it. Probably gonna have music playing in the background while I'm working on it tonight because I'm just out here by myself, flowing away. So I'll do a little time-lapse video for you guys, maybe pick up the camera at a couple points so I can show you different stuff that I'm doing with it. But for the most part, enjoy watching me struggle working on a Honda. trying to find all the random nuts and bolts that I took off. I did keep the battery on the maintainer, so that's good. Yeah. I do believe that it is time-lapse time. All right, we got the front back together. She's a little taller now. She's got the bracket lift on. Got the radiator relocate squared away. So I guess it's time to tackle something else. I mean, I don't have any fluid to put back in it. I like to use OEM fluids, so pick up some Honda coolant in the morning. I think next on the agenda is going to be this exhaust. And then the swing arm extension. I think I'm gonna put a different shock on this four-wheeler. I have a shock from my Terex. I actually ended up warrantying out a shock because one of them blew up on me back when I was still on stock shocks. It's got a nice green spring, and I think I'm going to try and sneak it under there. So everybody, obviously GoPro died, so I don't have any more time-lapse footage for you, but you're not going to believe it. Pile of parts from the Honda. It's put back together. It's put 100% back, and I don't believe it, but it actually runs. And it runs pretty good considering it's tuned for a supercharger. Like, here. And that exhaust sounds absolutely freaking sick. I don't know why I didn't put that on sooner. But yeah, she's put the whole way back together. She has the radiator relocate on. I actually found some coolant for it, so she's already bled. It's gotten 2 inches taller in the front, as you can see. The rear has been stretched back 2 inches. You see you got that big gap between the 30s and the fender, and it's been lifted in the rear. I put an aftermarket, well, not an aftermarket, it's a Kawasaki shock there, extended shaft. You can see the brackets right there that extended the swing arm. I wasn't able to hook back up the rear brake. I think I'm gonna need longer cables to do that. The Honda is officially a running, riding machine again. Now the question is, does it need a turbocharger or does it need nitrous? I'm already pretty much all in on the nitrous, but if enough people comment and convince me, I will turbo this Honda. And I kind of want to, just because, you know, back when I thought I was doing supercharger things, I made a radiator relocate that says got boost, which I can argue with people and say, hey, nitrous boost. But I don't know. I could not believe it when I hit that key and hit the button and the dang thing actually started. Oh, I was so happy. I didn't get to ride around too much because it's like 3 a.m. in the morning at this point. But the Honda's back together, and very soon it will have an irrational amount of Honda power. And I'm thinking about throwing some crush locks and some assassinators on it and seeing if we can break something. That's pretty much all I got for this video. It's probably going to be a short one because it's all time lapses. But y'all take care.